Guys, so in today's video I wanted to talk to you about my top makeup brushes. I'm going to talk about different brands, which brushes I like the best out of those brands and which ones I have to have in my collection. I don't own any MAC brushes, I don't own any Sigma brushes or anything like that. All of my brushes are affordable and can be bought at either Priceline, or I do a lot of shopping on iHerb.com. They have really affordable makeup brushes, and yeah, I'll run through that as I go through the video. So if you guys want to know what my favorite makeup brushes are, then just keep watching. Okay, so the first brand I will talk about is one of my absolute favorite brands, and that is Real Techniques. So these are some of the brushes that I have. I also have their Miracle Complexion Sponge. So I'm going to go through the face brushes first. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It is a stiff buffing brush, so it's not a big fluffy brush. It distributes the product really easily. I like using this for either foundation, or I like to use it as a contour brush with a cream contour especially. This brush you can buy on its own, and I would definitely recommend it. It's one of those brushes that has multi-use. It also fits underneath the eyes to put concealer on, so I am a big fan of the Expert Face Brush. The next brush is the contour brush, and this one I do like it for contour. I use it with a powder contour, but I also really like this one to set my under eye concealer. It's just so nice and fluffy, so as you set it, it just blurs your concealer out and just makes it look really soft and really pretty. So yeah, the contour brush is great for contouring, but I do probably use it more for concealer. And then I'll talk about the sponge. This is the one I'm using at the moment. It's a bit dirty, I need to wash it. I do have a backup new one for when this one just has had enough, but this is probably my absolute favorite way to apply foundation in the whole entire world. So what you do is you dampen the sponge, you hold it underwater and just squeeze it and it will expand and get really big, and then you just sort of wring it out, squeeze out the excess water. Then you'll just dab into your foundation and literally just dab all over your face. So this just applies foundation like nothing else. You don't get any brush marks, you don't get any exaggerated pores, nothing bad. You can do everything with this. It blends out concealer, everything. So if you're going to get anything out of what I show you today, I would probably say get this. It is seriously so good. These are the same brush. This one is just slightly different in shape because I use it for my face powder. So it's a bit more fluffy than this one. This one's sort of just more soft. I just use this one for blush or bronzer. I just use it to set the center of my face, and I use it every single day. It is one of those brushes that you will always use no matter what. So the multitask brush is a good one. And then I bought the Duo Fiber collection. So this is one of my favorites. This is the Duo Fiber face brush. It's just a nice big brush. I either use it for bronzer, and it really does a soft diffused bronze look, or you can use it for your face powder, you can use it for blush. So I keep having my arm randomly up here. You can use it for pretty much anything, but it makes everything look really soft and blended because it is the Duo Fiber bristles. So they are more dense down here where the brush is black, and then as it gets to the top, the brush is really quite thin and soft. So that's how it works to blend everything out. And then I'll just talk about some of their eye brushes. I like all of the eye brushes that Real Techniques have. I just don't want to sit here and mention every single one of them, but this is the Deluxe Crease Brush, and I actually really like this one for concealing. So I will use it, you can use it under your eyes. I prefer to use a bigger brush, but definitely around the nose you can just really buff everything in, and if you have a pimple you can sort of dab in the concealer and then blend it out a little bit. And because this brush is so dense, it does a really good job of. Then there is this one's got no name, but it's just like a flat shader brush. As I said, I like all of the eye brushes. I pick them up on a regular basis. This is another one that's just a base shadow brush. So as you can see, this one's a little bit thicker than this one, but they're both really good eye brushes. The next brand I want to talk about is EcoTools. So you can get EcoTool brushes at Priceline, but I personally order mine off iHerb.com because they are a lot cheaper. So my first favorite one is this EcoTools buffing brush. I use this for my liquid foundation, and it is really one of the best buffing brushes I've ever used. So it's a flat top, the bristles are so super soft, so it doesn't scratch your skin or feel harsh, and it's dense enough to allow you to actually stipple your foundation on like that, as well as blend it and buff it out. So I really highly recommend this EcoTools buffing brush. The next one from EcoTools is this fan brush. I again bought this off iHerb.com. I just use this for highlighting. It's just so soft and so easy to flick on your highlighter, and yeah, I just really like the way that it applies highlighter. You can use it for different things, but that is the main use that I use it for. And then I'll just mention one eye brush from EcoTools. It's just their little angled eyeliner brush. I love this brush because it's so dense and it doesn't lose its shape. Some angled brushes lose their shape, they go all floppy. This one definitely doesn't, so I really do recommend this one. I think it only costs like $6 from Priceline, so it's a bargain and they last you for ages. And the next brand I want to talk about is xoBeauty. So an XO on YouTube, I'm sure everybody knows about her. She's a New Zealand blogger and she brought out her own brush line. And I've had these for quite a while, probably like over a year and a half. I have some of her eye brushes as well, which are really good, but her face brushes are some of the best that I have. So this one is the angled top kabuki. As you can see, it's got an angle. And I like using this one to blend out cream contour as well. Sometimes I'll use a smaller brush to apply the contour, then I'll go in and I'll dab it all out with this brush. It just blends out anything really well. You can use it for foundation and it gets like right in the crevices of your eyes, everything like that. So this one is super good. And then I've got the round top kabuki, which also is great for foundation, but I tend to use this one mainly for like cream blush. This just sort of blends everything out on your cheeks really nicely because of the round shape. So that one is, yeah, the round top kabuki brush. And then I've got the tapered kabuki brush. So this one is really nice for either using it as a as a contour brush or tapping out concealer under your eyes. This one's like a dupe for one of the Sigma brushes that everyone likes, so I'm really happy with this one. I think it's really great. And none of Shannon's brushes shed or go bad. Like I've had these, as I said, for ages and none of them have shed. They all have stayed in perfect condition and I've washed them time and time again. So I do have her flat top kabuki brush, but honestly I like the EcoTools one better, so I'm not going to mention that one, but those other three face brushes are just fantastic. I have one little e.l.f. brush to talk about, and it's just the e.l.f. contour brush. It is just like a tiny little blending brush. I hope you can see that. It's quite dense, and to be honest it's not the softest brush, but I think this cost me like $8 and I think that's super cheap. So I like to use this. I used it today to blend out the under eye colour and also to pack some colour in the outer V. So yeah, this one's just a pretty standard brush, but I really do like it. And last of all, I have some Models Prefer brushes to talk about. So if I could recommend any brush to anyone that's just starting out with makeup and isn't really sure what to do and has kind of no clue when it comes to eyeshadows, you need to get blending brushes. Lots of people have the MAC 217s and things like that. These are just Models Prefer 120 crease brushes. They are soft blending brushes. I seriously have like 10 of them. I love them so much. And I don't think you need to spend a whole heap of money. I would like to try the 217, but for now I am really happy with these, so I don't feel the need to go out and spend that money on something that's not necessary at the moment. So basically you can apply a lid colour with these, but what these do is they blend out your crease colour. So these are just the most amazing brushes for blending out any eyeshadows. If you want to become an eyeshadow expert, get these blending brushes. You will thank me. Then there's just this little Models Prefer smudge brush. I just like this one because it's short and it's dense, and I either use it to put a brow bone highlight, put colour under my eye. It's pretty standard, but yeah, I really like the Models Prefer brushes. And then the last brush is quite dirty. This is the Models Prefer grooming and shaping brush. So it's a double-ended brush. It's got the spoolie on one end and it's got the angled brush on the other end. So I use this one for my eyebrows, and I really like how dense and thin the brush is because it really helps you get a nice precise eyebrow look. So yeah, and then obviously you've got the spoolie on the end, so once you finish doing your brows you can just brush them through. So I like having a double-ended brush like this. It just makes everything 10 times easier than having to grab two separate products. So yes, and that's it for my favourite makeup brushes, guys. I think I spoke really fast in this video, but I don't know when my battery is going to die and I didn't want it to die mid-video. So yeah, I am sorry if I did speak really fast and tried to pump my words out too fast, but hopefully this video is okay and I can get it up very soon for you guys. So yes, I hope this video was helpful. I will link the websites down below that I tend to use for my brushes, which is, as I said, mainly iHerb, but I'll also link Shannon's website, which is the xoBeauty website. And make sure you do the price conversion, because when you first look at Shannon's brushes you think, oh my gosh, no, they're so expensive. But that's in New Zealand prices, so when you convert it to Australian, it's a lot less expensive than you'll think. So yeah, as I said, I hope you guys liked the video. Please let me know what you thought. Please let me know what your favourite makeup brushes are. If you want to, leave them down in the comments. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! I'm drinking salted caramel chocolate. Salted caramel hot. Salted caramel coffee.